Hello my dear friends, here's Max. You already read the title of this video, so you know what I'm gonna show you. Imalent finished the world's brightest flashlights. The MS18 with 100,000 lumens. And its twin brother, the R90TS with 36,000 lumens. Both of them share the same battery pack with 8 21700 cells. And maybe some thoughts. A year ago, none of us would have dreamed to have flashlights that powerful to be held in one hand. And being that small compared to the amount of power and the limitation not to have 20 cells available or an external generator, that does limit things like runtime on turbo. Obviously, because there's physics. The MS18 produces more than 1000 watts. So it heats up incredibly fast. And you need to have that in your mind. They are like a top fuel dragster. You cannot go on full throttle the whole day doing groceries. That's not gonna work. They have a big amount of continuous power. I think in the MS18 it's 25,000 lumens continuous, and the R90TS can have 15,000 lumens continuous, which is a ridiculous amount of light, much more than I think all of my other flashlights can handle on a permanent level. So keep that in mind, that they are big due to 18 LEDs. They are heavy due to the very high sophisticated cooling technologies Imalent had to use. They are noisy because they use 2 fans to get away of all the hot air. But they are the brightest flashlights you can buy, and they do a lot of fun. They give you a lot of smiles. So let's have a look inside the boxes. I think most of you do know all the technical aspects already of those flashlights. Let's stop talking, start looking. Here they are. I'm sorry it's not easy to show these big boxes in my setup here. Let's start with the MS18 because packaging is completely the same. These boxes are quite nice, these cases, but unfortunately these inlays are too soft. Imalent knows that already, so they beefing that up, because mine broke here. DHL throw these boxes very hard, obviously, so the flashlights did crush the thin plastic, but they're taking care of that. We have a charger which is the same as on the R90C, the MS12, and maybe also on the new Assault X70s. We have a user manual. There is of course spare O-rings. There is this big beauty. And underneath this plastic there is a carry belt for the shoulders with a nice thick padding, and you will need that. So put it back, maybe let's try. You can see here this plastic, this broke when the flashlight was moving, while the package was maybe thrown into the plane or something like that. I don't know. But Imalent knows, and they do something to prevent this from happening again. Of course, on the flashlight was this protection sheet on the lens, and I ripped it off already. So I put back this user manual and as well the accessories. R90TS. It's exactly the same user manual, charger, the shoulder belt underneath, and here also this plastic is broken. So put that aside. So I'm gonna try to show you some details. Excuse me, it's not easy due to the size. For comparison, that's an FW3A, that's an C8. So both of them are identical in the case, in the housing. Both have the same battery pack. There is a cap you can unscrew to access the charging port. Let's unscrew it once, because when you get it delivered, there is an insulation plate in there which you need to get rid of. So you see that's a different style of contact plate. In the old ones you had 4 pins for the positive. Here is a massive middle pin. In the head you see a very thick double spring. Let's try to zoom in. Hopefully, yeah. You see down there, double spring. Everything is big and massive to handle all that current that's necessary to blind everything. Put it back together. And on this charging port cap you see all those, let's say, lanyard holes, because it's not you do not use the lanyard, you use your shoulder belt. Just hook it in there. The second port is here on the head, so in that way you can handle it very easily and well balanced. And all the time the display, the OLED display, and the switch is on top, so you can operate here very easily. So unmount them, and having this screwed in parts and a stainless steel maybe, so you don't scratch the anodization as much. Let's try, since it's very important here. In there you see all this copper shimmer. That's the cooling fin. Possibly in there you can see this heat pipe, this tube running through there. And on the left, on the right, there are the cooling fans, and you can see straight through that flashlight to the complete head, because all the fins have just one direction, going from left to right. The air will be pushed through the head and getting rid of all the heat. So this hot sign is not just fake. Isn't that a lovely view? 18 XHP 70.2s and 18 XHP 35 HIs. I'm not sure if my camera can give you a nice impression of those heads. I have some detail shots. I will add the pictures to some kind of review on my blog, so you can have the video and the pictures for better details. Comparing then with the ancestors, the MS12, The head is really the same. Quite sure it's the same part it's made of, but 12 versus 18 LEDs. The handle is a bit smaller and it doesn't fit. Now compare R90TS with the R90C. Big complaints have been made that the handle is too short for the R90C, so it's not very well balanced. This doesn't happen to the R90TS. Again, head is the same, but it's different in the inside. 9 versus 19 used LEDs. And double the cells. And a big contestant to the new Imalents is the Acebeam X70. They claim to have 60,000 lumens. So that was their answer to the MS12. And answers go in both directions. You see, you can't hardly see, the X70 is a bit longer. The head is a good part smaller. I have to put it in pictures, very hard to show on video. I tried to get them all outside, and so we can compare the new ones against the old ones and have a look how the X70 does compete with the Imalents. So if there are any questions, feel free to ask. Oh, of course, I forgot something. The user interface. I just want to put this insulation plate out of the R90, otherwise it stays dark. So I try to zoom in with the camera. Hopefully it does somehow work for you. Switch off a bit of the light. Single click is on, and then we see the power state 700 lumens, tells us 16.18 volts. And if we click and hold, lumens go up. Say 16 volt, 2000 lumens, 5000, 10,000. My camera is set to automatic, so you don't get blind. 22,000, 30,000. 60,000, the fan kicks in, double click does the turbo. Double click gives us strobe, back to turbo, click and hold, go back to the normal modes. Single click, switch it off. If you want to have the switch illuminated, you can hold for the button for 2 seconds. Then you have here, hard to see with the video lights on, illuminating the switch, so you can find it better in the dark. 2 seconds, hold for off. 1, 2, 3 gives us 16.12 volts. And I was told after you charge the flashlight, it needs to be on for some seconds, so the processor for the display can read the voltage and sync internally. So Sometimes it happens that you just do the triple click and you read the last stored value, not the actual value which it's synchronized when it's running. 4 clicks starts the fan on the high power, saying fan. 5 clicks gives a lock. Again, 5 clicks does the lock out. Double click, obviously, instant turbo. Single click to switch off again. I don't think that there's some more than that. Let's go outside and make it bright. See you there. Hello my friends, welcome on my usual spot. Camera set to all in manual, ISO is 1600, and I start with my GT Mini on turbo. Whoopsie, to welcome the place. Here the tree, it's 110 meters, there's a street, small hill. There is a small street with 140 meters. Up there is a barn at 400 meters. And in that direction to the right, and 800 meters, 800 and a little bit more, is a school. So that's 1000 and something lumens. Switch that off. And at first we use the R90C, the old one, R90C. As my camera is quite low, so I go for the comparisons direct to turbo. R90C, the barn, street, lots of light for everything. R90TS, direct to turbo, washes away. The 800 meters up there are no problem. You see lots of moisture and dust in the air. So again, on the left side R90C, and to the right R90TS. On that spot, to the 400 meters, you see the spot, and the R90TS brings a lot more light on every direction. So, do the same comparison, MS12 versus MS18. At first MS12. You see a lot of light, and the barn at 400 meters is not as bright as with the R series, but of course you can see it. But I would say the 800 meters to the school up there is not as visible. Now the MS18, double click to turbo, wash. Just light everywhere. Now left hand MS12, right hand MS12 versus MS18. Oh, my battery is getting low, so I need to speed up. MS12. And right is, oh, some eyes up there. Hi, little fox maybe. Right hand is MS18. MS18 pointing there. MS12 here in the middle, MS18 to the hill, MS18 on the hill, MS12 on the hill. So in direct comparison you see it's twice the light. So switch them off and try the X70. I verified it's set into not in eco mode but the other performance maybe. Okay, it's locked. So X70, double click to turbo, double click to high, whatever, double click to turbo. So we see the spot, the medium, the middle LED is on. You see the spot here in the road dancing. Now try the barn at 800. You see it lights up when the XHP35 hits it. Lot of dust unfortunately in the air today. So I'm going to compare the X70 to the R90TS. 60,000 lumens versus 36,000 lumens. At first X70 on my right hand, and then I start the R90TS. X70 and turbo on the barn up there. Remember, that's just 400 meters in bad air condition. Now R90TS, and you clearly see there's a lot more light where you want it in the distance. Now I add the X70, so you see the beam of the X70 in the middle. Let's point to the street. X70 with 60,000 lumens here. Switching it off, that's 36,000, much more concentrated beam, a lot less of self-blinding, much more light in the distance on the target. And last but not least, I think it's 12 degrees here now, waving a little bit, so the flashlights get a little bit colder. To be honest, I forgot the fendel for the X70, but as far as I know, that's just good for run times. Our 30-second boosts here will not help if there is a fan, and I think the other flashlights are hotter than the X70 maybe. Okay, now try again. X70 on the barn at 400 meters. That's here, you see the spot. And now changing to the MS18. Same camera settings, same everything. I think the barn at 400 is not that much difference, but the sheer amount of light. Let's point upwards the hill here. X70 again. You see the spot wandering, so the beam is not even. Back to the MS18. And when I go and hold it above my head, it's just a big floodlight, noisy but bright. And same above my head with the X70. I'm not sure, but I think I see the differences there in 200 meters. There's a tree up there, at the end of the road, or if you prolong the road. Again, MS18. That's just, you see so much more. Okay, what I try now is same spot, same camera settings, everything on manual, 1600 ISO. I use several lights. I tell you in the microphone which one I take. Walk 5 meters, switch it on, light to different directions, and then come back and change the light, tell you which one I take with me, so I have not the camera on my body, and hopefully it gives you some impression of the beam shape or whatever. So let's start with the GT Mini. Again, battery is low. I hope that works for you. Better go here. Okay, first one, R90C. The next one, R90TS. MS12. MS18. X70. So, camera still running. Try again something. R90TS versus X70. And MS12 versus X70. So I don't know how long the battery lasts. I tried to walk away from the camera with the flashlights in ascending orders. I start with the GT Mini, then the R90TS, MS18, and at last the X70. Sorry, I hope the camera will do. So GT Mini, R90TS. MS12. X70. Camera is still recording. Try R90TS versus X70. Okay, there's some juice left. MS18 versus X70. Whoopsie. So let's see. Camera's still running. Nice job, Panasonic. So one last thing. You see everything is in one attempt. The X70 now is off. I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 2 blinks for eco mode. So that's turbo in eco mode. Switching off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're back again, triple click in power mode. And that's the turbo in power mode. So I hope you believe me, I was in power mode all the time. Didn't try to lie to you. Hopefully you got a nice idea about these flashlights, and that for sure will be not the last videos and pictures of them. So have a good night. See you. Bye bye.